Usually with my reviews, I like to give a brief synopsis. If you saw my last video about A Quiet Place Day 1, I refused to do that, and I'm going to do the same here. But just know the reason why I'm doing it this time is because I myself have no idea what this film is truly about. Is that a bad thing? No, I don't think it is. So yeah, today we're talking about Kinds of Kindness. This is the newest film from Yorgos Lanthimos, the second film of his in the last 12 months. And all I'm going to say is that it stars Emma Stone, it stars Jesse Plemons, Margaret Qualley, Hong Chow, and Willem Dafoe. That's it. That's all I can figure out. And I just want to start by saying as well, I want to preface that if you go in expecting Poor Things, you're going to be disappointed, because this is not like Poor Things. This is more in line with Dogtooth. This is his very idiosyncratic style that kind of feeds into the whole Dogtooth thing. It harkens back to his old days with, say, Killing of a Sacred Deer, Dogtooth, and even The Lobster. And that's fine. I think that's a reason why this film should be seen in the way that it is, even if it does have its problems. We'll talk about the things I do like. So the performances. I really love Jesse Plemons. I'm glad that he's getting more roles, because the guy's literally an Oscar nominated guy and all he does is do 2 seconds and peace out of movies. That's literally his typecast. So it's good to see him get a leading role. He plays 3 different characters, because this film is 3 different anthology stories in a way, and each one of his characters are more interesting than the next. I do think that his first character, Robert, is the most interesting. I think Robert has a lot more to do than the other 2 do. Emma Stone as well, she's great. She's going to be great in anything she's in. She expresses why she loves Yorgos every time that she performs in his films. You can see that they have a great partnership, and that's great to see. I also love the cinematography. It's Robbie Ryan. Robbie Ryan makes some of the best looking shots. Just look at Poor Things. Just look at The Favourite as well. It's a pretty looking mess. Yeah, it's a mess. You could probably say that it's intentional, and it is intentional, but at the same time you don't really get a good sense of longing and a good sense of worth when you finish this. Because I was trying to make sense of it, and you don't really get a good grasp of what this really is, apart from 3 different stories which don't really tie into each other, don't really have anything to do with each other. So you're kind of like, what is the point, you know? Which goes back to my whole thing where people expected Poor Things out of this, and that's not what this is. It's completely different, and it has a whole different rhythm to it and a whole different feel. First off, is in modern day. This is one of the first Yorgos movies which is set in modern day. He really does describe what modern day is like. It's very gross, very grim, and not exactly as exuberant as you would think it would be. He treats businessmen like they're evil. He treats people like they're evil, like he does in most of his movies. He treats people like they're something to be played with. They're sacks of shit rather than just being people. And again, Yorgos gets away with it every time because it's Yorgos Lanthimos. The guy knows how to direct people. He knows how to direct things. And this is definitely a thing. Whether it's a thing you want, I don't know. And we'll talk about length. It's nearly 3 hours long. You do feel it. I did feel it a lot. I did check my watch many different times, because the pacing of this thing is what brings it down for me. I think the pacing is definitely something. And I'm not going to sit here and pretend that Yorgos movies are the fastest things on earth, because they're not, right? Poor Things, it's quite slow, quite methodic, but I think Poor Things is a lot more interesting and has a lot more visual energy to it, and you can definitely feel what the film is trying to say, especially with what he says about femininity and just life in general. But Kinds of Kindness, there's no real strict theme. It's kind of just about everything, and anything and everything is basically what this film is about. And sure, that's a cool thing to do in the moment, and I still think that it's kind of cool to see Yorgos go in this very idiosyncratic way. He uses cynicism in a way which I don't think that other directors have the gall and the nerve to do. Look, I might sound negative on this film, but I'm really not. I think it is really interesting. It's quite funny. There's a lot to digest with it too. The cinematography's cool, the performances are dope. Justin Fendrick's score, the guy keeps knocking it out of the park. I just wanted more from it, and I wanted a deeper understanding of what the film really was, and you don't really get a whole idea of what the RMF thing is. I'm not going to pretend that I know. because I don't. I do like this film, okay? I do like it. I think a lot of it is based on expectation, because you see Yorgos' name and you're instantly like, oh yeah, there's going to be a 10 out of 10 here, right? Like Poor Things, like The Favourite, maybe even The Lobster, Killing of a Sacred Deer, etc. But this is not like that at all. It's very much its own thing. It's literally 3 separate stories stitched into a 3-hour time range, which is very long, and you do feel the length, of course. But I do think that there's something there, and it is interesting. It is funny too. There are moments which had me laughing, and it's one of the more disturbing films from Lanthimos. There's a very vicious cycle that this film digests, which kind of came out of left field for me. For instance, the first story is literally a vicious cycle of a man trying to become loved, and this is very much a film as a whole about something which we don't understand, and the ambiguity of it is something which is good. I know I'm not making sense right now, because the film doesn't make sense too, so cut me some slack here. But when you got a film from a guy who just makes whatever the fuck he wants, that's good. I really admire it. I'm gonna give Kinds of Kindness 7 out of 10. I wanted to like it more than I did, but that's not to say that it's a bad movie, because I actually quite like it. I think it's pretty decent. I just wanted a little bit more from it and a little bit more of an understanding, and it is very confusing. It gives Tenet a run for its money, let's be honest. But yeah, I'm excited to see what Yorgos brings us next, because the guy hits it out of the park most of the time, and a lot of people calling this a dud and saying that he fell off. Dude, it's one movie. I'm sure he's allowed to have one. But thank you guys for watching this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and tell me down below what you want to see from me next, and have you seen Kinds of Kindness? If you have, let me know down below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.